Getting all set for the fourth and final game of the day in Des Moines, with the Capitol just a few blocks away with its gold dome. Here in Iowa, getting set for Stony Brook and Kentucky, with the winner to face Indiana Saturday back here in Des Moines. Let's bring it courtside, friends, along with Grant Hill, Bill Raftery, Tracy Wolfson, and all the crew. Jim Nance got Stony Brook in the tournament for the very first time, and they're coming here with a pretty talented bunch. One guy in particular who can do it all.
Yes, indeed. Jameel Warney, one of the best big men inside.
Yep.
He's going to carry this team, but I want to see him against the length of Kentucky's interior.
And he's going to put pressure on the inside. Labissiere is going to have to play well. Poythress, just the inside game with Lee as well. They're going to be tested.
You know, we talked about Indiana that first game coming in, not feeling great about its seeding, and Kentucky, same thing.
This is a different team, though. When we saw them early in the year, much better defensively, more coordinated, giving the ball up to one another, dribble, drive, score.
Here are the 10 on the floor to begin the game. Stony Brook, the Seawolves, as Grant mentioned, Warney, he averages 20 points, 11 rebounds, all-time leader in Stony Brook history in points, rebounds, and blocks. Tyler Ulis, well, he was the SEC Player of the Year, the SEC Tournament MOP, and first team All-America. There is Steve Peichel. That name may ring familiar with some of you basketball fans back east. He was Jim Calhoun's first recruit and two-time captain of the Huskies, finishing up back around 1990. And now what he's done to bring this Stony Brook program at the Division I level to this level, to this tournament level. And Coach Cal and the national championship back in 2012. His team ready to go now, really peaking at the right time.
Absolutely solid, both ends of the floor.
Now, winner to take on the Hoosiers Saturday, and Labissiere able to tap it back to Ulis.
Jim Nance, Grant Hill, a little bit by Stony Brook.
That's Poythress, the senior, fighting for it, coming up short. And it's Warney with his first rebound of what could be many tonight. He's got the big size body, too.
And McGrew with a terrific job walling up. Willis can really shoot the basketball. Nice cut off to the brush screen.
Not quite able to connect on it with Walker.
I love this kid, Jim. What a talented kid. Look at the pocket pass. And he can make that, Labissiere.
Kentucky going to show him a little full court pressure.
A little 2-2-1. Beautiful, usually runs the show.
Stony Brook does a great job of finding their big man inside. A lot of great sets to get him open.
Labissiere's really got to pay attention to detail. He's physically not as strong. He's out of bounds.
Well, he's going to have to give up a lot of weight to Warney. Stony Brook, in its 17th season, began Division I in 1999. That's goes back to Division III days. The first ever NCAA tournament appearance, the 56th for Kentucky. Walker, he's trying to beat the shot clock, and well defended there by Murray. Violation.
He's a kid that can get to the rim and looks for his drive, and one of the great players in the country right there. Out of Canada, by the way.
Out of Canada.
Jamal Murray, what a talent. Great without the ball.
From Kitchener, Ontario, we're talking about Jamal Murray. Been filling it up all season long.
Really, Kentucky has probably the best backcourt in all of basketball with Ulis and Murray.
And the wing and Briscoe who can really get to the rim. Not a great deep shooter.
Here's Murray. Put up a couple of 33-point games this year. Ulis front of the rim. And Warney again grabs it with two hands.
Big, strong kid. Classic type of rebound.
Down low to McGrew. Working on Poythress. Whips it up short. And for the first couple of minutes, Stony Brook unable to put a point on the board. Murray wide with that one. Warney with another rebound. His third.
They're doing a nice job getting back, balancing the floor. That happens when you take good shots.
Woodhouse back to Warney.
His pace is something else. I think Stony Brook wants to maybe slow it down a little bit, not get into an up and down game.
Nice tip.
Warney tips it out.
I'm not so sure they want to slow it down. Purifoy gets to the rim and a nice find.
Warney with the jumper. They've been short on a lot of shots. Put back by McGrew. So maybe a little tight at that end of the floor early, but Kentucky and Stony Brook with a basket apiece.
Confidence growing in Labissiere's game. We're giving him some touches at the pinch post. We've seen him make that shot.
Ulis, he got right past Purifoy, and wow, what a play there to prevent Labissiere from converting.
What a great find, but the challenge met. You can go right inside direct. There you go. Turn and face, a little double. No.
Purifoy wide with that one.
Love the way Briscoe goes to the rim. Just a solid approach.
McGrew got a hand on him.
And Coach Warney, not just on the offensive end, but meeting him at the rim, 260, getting that body up and making a fantastic block.
Just a little message.
A little message indeed.
We're talking about in Warney, a young man who scored 43 in the conference title game against Vermont when they had to come back big time in that second half.
He was so efficient, 18 for 22 in that game. Put his team on his back.
43 points. Huge performance as they avenged a loss on senior day to Vermont. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming devices with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now, ncaa.com/March Madness, or download the app today. Here we are talking about Warney, and this freshman at the line for Kentucky went to the same high school as Warney, Roselle Catholic. And he came over yesterday. I said, hey, did you guys ever cross over? Were you a freshman when he was a senior? He says, no, but I know him. You know, he's the second all-time scorer at our high school. I said, oh, yeah, I know. He says, did you know I'm first? I'm first.
Humility, a typical Jersey attitude.
There you go.
A nice little post-up.
It's Purifoy.
Nice entry and the ability to shoot with either hand. How about that rejection?
Labissiere.
Oh.
He got two on the same trip, and it still belongs to the Seawolves.
And Lee underneath, I think, gets the foul.
Yeah, Lee called for it. Here they are at Roselle Catholic.
How about that school? Tyler Robertson, another guy that came from there. Isaiah Briscoe. Terrific at putting it on the deck, and the growth of Jameel has been incredible in that program.
Woodhouse able to get there before Ulis.
Kentucky is going to send another big at Warney.
Stony Brook's hit only 1 out of its first 10 shots.
Nice run.
There's
Too
a
many
lot.
people.
Yep, they both are battling for it, and it's going to go back to the Seawolves.
You got to back off. Both big guys salivating at that rim.
How about the athleticism? Your 7-footers, your big guys getting out in transition, throw it up there, got to communicate.
It's unbelievable, huh? 2 at the rim. That's called the run out. A good size underneath. You got Lee on the floor. You mentioned the double. You got to find some people. Warney may not have those easy attempts.
Sturdivant, he's a big body coming in for Stony Brook. Stony Brook out of Long Island, New York, about 60 miles east of Manhattan. Purifoy slipping, getting it to Warney, who's able to muscle it home to tie it at 4.
What a great pass. A tremendous finish by the big fella. He came to play today.
He sure did. Purifoy with another lap at this dump ball. Ulis, you can see on that jump shot all the traffic. What a find.
2 consecutive games here with some tremendous point guard play. Yogi Ferrell the last game, and Tyler Ulis. So important to this basketball team.
Double up on Warney.
Nice cross, nice extra pass.
Walker steps in, dumps it down low. Sturdivant, 10 to shoot. Purifoy in trouble, and it's a foul call on Kentucky. It's on Lee, and that's his second. So, back and forth they go. Physical start here in Des Moines in this one, with the winner to face Indiana Saturday. And Kentucky leads Stony Brook of Suffolk County, New York, out on Long Island. 6-4. Let's go over to Tracy Wolfs with more about the Seawolves.
That's right, Jim. If Steve Peichel needs a reminder of just how far this program has come, he just walks into his office, he looks at the wall. Those shelves were empty when he first took this job. He now has a school record 139th ball there. They have conference titles and a conference championship ball that gave them their first NCAA tournament appearance. And now he is not satisfied. He wants their first NCAA tournament win so he could put a ball on the shelf there in his office. Jim?
All right, I'm not going to be the first to do this, but I do want to wish you a very happy birthday, Tracy.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
St. Patrick's Day, birthday, as the free throw is made by Carson Purifoy.
Steve Peichel stole that idea from me, by the way. The shelves, mine were empty when I left.
Exactly. You had to dust them off every once in a while, didn't you?
I did. Once again, that horns look, brush screen, and now a down screen.
There's a lob underneath. Ooh, look at that pen against it. A foul will send Poythress to the free throw line. Wednesday on CBS. Don't miss the most powerful episode of the season. TV's #1 suspense thriller, Criminal Minds, all new Wednesday at 9/8 Central. Only CBS. Sturdivant called for the foul, says Pat McGrath, our stats man extraordinaire, also celebrating a birthday today. We're grateful to Pat being here again for the 25th consecutive year. And now one more for Poythress. Gotta love this kid. He's already graduated in 3 years at Kentucky. Great student. Battled injuries during his career at Kentucky.
I just love his perseverance. He's been through so much. He's worked hard. Back out here is such an important piece to this team.
He's a terrific defender. Presents some physical play inside.
Tough shot, Purifoy.
He's great going to his left, though.
These teams have combined 4 out of 19 from the field. Losing battle early, and Labissiere able to get a second basket.
And Coach, he's very skilled.
He is very talented.
Very talented. Nice jump hook.
Coming along nicely.
Sturdivant wants the jumper, able to hit it.
Well, does that help open it up a little bit?
He's a 6'7" sophomore from Chester, Pennsylvania.
Take that 17-foot jump shot. Pretty good around the rim, too. Labissiere a little bit in the doghouse early in the year. We might be after that shot.
It was looking good.
Yeah,
before
I loved you for a while. Big-time talent, going to get better and better. Look at him present himself.
Look at Walker trying to squeeze out of a double team.
Somebody's got to come to and help him.
Labissiere got a hand on it, so Walker's able to get it back, and then reaches in for a pointless foul.
Yeah, tough giveaway. Just turn and run.
Labissiere right there, just using his length, hand straight up as Willis checks in the game for Kentucky.
And you know his deep shot, what a threat this kid is. But just walling up big time. Great presentation, presence, doesn't bite on any little pump fake. Got a nice spin out.
Oh, look at that block. Second one by Warney. And coming away with it, the Seawolves.
He's giving him a warning. Nice pocket pass.
He's not able to draw the foul, and Kentucky comes firing out of it. Ulis lost it. No whistle again as Purifoy hits the deck.
He's excellent picking up charges, Purifoy. Labissiere, what a presence early.
Woodhouse.
There he is again.
That's a 5th Kentucky block.
And look at the personality of Labissiere early in the year, and just trying to feel his way, get some minutes, provide a lift for his club, and John Calipari over there chatting with him, not chastising.
Sean Thrower, sophomore from Muskegon, Michigan, checks in for Stony Brook. They've also brought in Poythress.
Stony Brook has done a good job defending Murray thus far. Hasn't really had any good looks for Kentucky.
That's Poythress coming in and pulling it down.
Typical of a big kid, likes the outside shot as well.
Purifoy unable to find it early.
He can shoot it though.
He can, 40% from 3.
Talking about can shoot it, that's Murray.
They run that play great. You got to widen and stay at home on Murray, particularly when you turn the corner on the bounce.
Right now with Warney out, you got to run your offense.
No good. A little quick, not square. Purifoy rushing him a little bit.
Yeah, Purifoy is 0 for 4 from the field. Ulis. Back and forth we go as Stony Brook's hanging with them early, even though they're struggling.
And I'm making shots, but getting fresh bodies in there to keep up this pace.
You got more blocks in the game than field goals so far. How about that? 7-6. That's Thrower, lost the handle, squeezes it back out. Mitchell thought about it, or at least faked it out. That's Thrower, throwing one up toward the basket and drawing the foul. These teams are 6 for 31 so far.
Somebody's going to get hot soon.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
First time in 44 years the tournament has come to the great state of Iowa. It was up in Ames, Iowa back in '72 tournament games. And we had a double overtime contest earlier, won by Little Rock, knocking out Purdue. First double overtime game in the tournament in 5 years.
It certainly behooves you to be ready for any opponent, have ample respect.
A lot of good teams this year from Iowa. Iowa State, UNI.
Iowa State already advancing today, and it's Thrower making the first free throw. Download the CBS Sports app now. Follow your brackets, watch highlights, get instant team and upset alerts. Download the CBS Sports app now. As Thrower ties the game at 10.
He's one of those kids, a heck of a football player, too, they tell us. Good, strong body. Stay at home on Willis. It behooves you. On any dribble drives, he squares up for the long one.
Humphreys on the floor now for Kentucky.
Pick and pop they like for Willis.
It's Murray, who's been silent so far. And that's Woodhouse with the quick hands. Kentucky will have only 6 to shoot.
Great hands, but pretty good defense right there by Stony Brook.
Yeah, Woodhouse with those position.
Multiple efforts by everybody.
You're late in the shot clock, Jim.
Just in time. Humphreys got it up. And Warney pulls it down. They're hanging with him defensively.
Sure,
the game is tied at 10. Thrower. Long rebound bounces out. Picked up off the floor by Woodhouse.
That's great. There it is. How important. Down and dirty.
I'll tell you what, right there, Woodhouse.
You know, you saw that, you thought no one's going to beat Ulis to the ball with his quickness.
I'll tell you, Steve Pikiell has to love that. Woodhouse diving on the floor.
That's what it took.
You know, both sets of fans were rooting for the play. Leaving it all out there. Of course, a little look of disgust.
Stony Brook's missed its last 7 from the floor. Kentucky its last 6.
And when a team like Stony Brook goes against a powerhouse team like Kentucky, and the more the game goes on and you stay in the game, you get more confidence and really start to believe that you can win the game. It's still early, though.
And they're not afraid. They've been Notre Dame, Vandy, Purdue. Teamed up with some tough customers.
They're back to their first 5 on the floor. They feed it down to Warney, and it rattles out. It's been a little bit tough for him now. Shooting the ball 1 out of 6 so far.
And they can't give him that opportunity. He's going to can a few of those. I love the defense Stony Brook has exhibited.
Hawkins has come in and scores right away. Dominique Hawkins, junior out of Richmond, Kentucky.
And that's what he does. Just comes in, makes plays, getting to the basket. Nice, easy finish for Mr. Hawkins.
First field goal by either side at 3:45.
Keep moving. Go side to side a little bit more. You can get an opportunity. Look at this weak side help.
Labissiere.
Who is he here? In attendance.
5 blocks. Shot is long, but Hawkins able to out-battle Purifoy for that one.
Yeah, great effort, Jim. You're right.
5 blocks by Labissiere alone.
Highly recruited. Everybody thought he was going to be the real deal early. Shown signs tonight. Screen and roll. You can go to the hole up.
Murray comes up short.
I tell you, Warney is only giving Kentucky one look at the basket here, getting all these rebounds.
Woodhouse. Long rebound bounces out to McGrew, who's woefully short with that one. Murray, who has not scored so far, taking it to the rack for his first points.
You can't keep him quiet. He can have a terrible first half or not touch it much. He's got a will and a desire beyond most. Nice show by Willis.
Behind the back pass. And it got away from him.
You talk about Murray, struggled a little bit early, but a nice high percentage shot in transition, attacking the rim. He can score in so many ways. Off the catch and shoot, pin downs, great balance on his jump shot. He's one of the top shooters, if not the top shooter in the freshman class this year.
Look at this.
Labissiere blocking shots and hitting jumpers.
This kid really is fun to watch. Even in practice, Cal was on him. He can do so many nice things with a touch, size.
Last 6 points to the Wildcats.
Warney's got to keep him active too.
Double up on Warney. And again, every shot is challenged.
It's not necessarily one, Jim, either. It's two, but a wonderful stroke. Just a great feel for the game. He can stretch the D. That enables their terrific penetrators to attack the rim. He lifts his big guy, negates that opportunity to block a shot.
6 points, 3 rebounds, 5 blocks.
Great job containing one of the great penetrators.
Labissiere was feeling it, but didn't get it.
That's why they can play small. He plays so big, this kid. Nice cross.
Yeah, Murray able to free it up for Hawkins. Long rebound, chased down by Purifoy. This team, Stony Brook, 3 out of 25 from the field, 12%.
Not down far, but they got to get Purifoy going. He's too talented to not be productive in this game.
Purifoy, here he is. Grant.
Well, he's got some good looks, too. They keep guarding, though. They can come out of it.
He's 0 for 6. Briscoe.
He's not quite his game.
Taken by Walker.
Got
control of it at last. And the whistle.
I think Labissiere got the ball underneath. There may have been a tag.
I think you're right.
16-10, Kentucky.
No State 80-69. Jim.
As you see, Utah advancing out there in Denver, and will be taking on the winner of Seton Hall, Gonzaga. That's the last game of the day in Denver.
Utah's an interesting team. Portal up front. Loveridge can shoot the ball. They're an interesting team, I think.
Well coached.
Yep.
Stoviak.
Missed their last 14 from the field, 3 out of 27 overall. And still, you're only down 5 with another free throw to come. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament. NCAA.com.
Teeing it up on defense. Has kept Stony Brook in the game. Murray a little blow right now. And see more of Ulis. Nice duck in.
And Poythress. Oh, he stood right in there with Warney.
I'll tell you what, Poythress has a mean left shoulder hook shot right there. That's how to use his body, banging inside with the big fella.
Sure, he's a tough kid, been around a while. Nice help.
7.5 minutes without a basket.
Tribute to this great defense. Mentioned Labissiere, his ability around the rim, but containing on the bounce extremely well.
2 to shoot. Warney not able to get it away in time.
Yeah, just a terrific defensive set. You know, the one thing about John Calipari, because he's such a good recruiter and they've had great success, people overlook how dynamic he is as a coach. I mean, I have watched him from his early days at Pitt, UMass, resurrected that program, and watch him during his days at Kentucky. They get after you. They are terrific and well prepared.
That's the second time they have forced the shot clock violation on the Seawolves. Ulis, nice, lobbing it to Poythress, and Warney's going to pick up a foul here.
That stuff that gets you in Never Never Land there. That ability to dribble, you got to address the driver. Who covers your man? You're stuck.
First on Warney.
Good things always seem to happen when there's ball penetration. Ulis, one of the best at making decisions and reads. But you talked about Coach Cal and his ability to develop players. This team is not as strong, obviously, as last year's team, but they're hitting their stride now. They're playing good basketball, going into the tournament as a good team, and if they can keep that up, they got a chance here tonight.
You're talking about the intensity they play with, Coach Cal teams. Steve Peichel mentioned to us yesterday about having attended a coach's clinic put on by Coach Cal. It was a 3-day coach's clinic. He thought it might be one of those just show up for an hour and then turn it over to some assistants. He said Cal was there for every minute, leading all these coaches through 3 days.
He's a
with the
hands-on
coaching drills.
He's a hands-on guy.
He was blown away by it. Michael was, what he saw. Here's the jumper, and finally they hit a shot. Two-pointer by McGrew.
Well, the problem with that clinic, maybe they didn't talk about shooting. The struggle.
It was all defense.
Ulis answers right back in a hurry.
You got to stay in touch, though, while they find their stride.
Well, that basket by McGrew, the last time down the floor. The first hoop made by the Seawolves in 8 minutes plus.
I think they got to go inside against Poythress. You don't have Labissiere to damage you. He's coming in. They love the little screen right into the lane, but not getting good angles for the post pass.
I'll tell you what, Kentucky is sagging in, making it hard to throw the ball inside the Warney.
Walker comes up with all air with that shot. Here's Murray. Can't leave him alone.
Look at this.
Willis crashes the boards, and it finally drops.
And he's not known for that either. He's a deep stroker, but why not attack the 10?
Timeout called by Stony Brook. Double-digit lead, Wildcats.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Century 21, DirecTV, and by BMW.
Coming out of a Stony Brook timeout, you can choose your favorite player on the court or for your taste with Coca-Cola and the NCAA tournament. We keep lamenting how Stony Brook is shooting. It gives Kentucky and its defense credit for that.
Well, you talked about shooting earlier, Coach, or lack thereof. Both teams combined for 24% from the field. Not a good performance here in the first half. Whoever can hit some shots, maybe has a chance to win.
Look at this steal. Look at Ulis. Now driving in.
He does a great job warding off two at the rim. Boy, you can't cross. You've got to be careful. Don't turn your back. And this is the pressure. They can churn it up.
They double the lead now at 26-13. The last 6 to the Cats. These two teams combined 0 for 11 from 3.
You just can't simulate this pressure in practice, no matter what preparations you have. Number 5.
McGrew, 2-point shot, front of the rim.
Run out again.
Murray, nobody cuts him off. And it's going to be a foul on Purifoy from behind. There's the game summary. The numbers are grim on the Stony Brook side, shooting-wise. The winner to take on Indiana. And Tracy standing by with Tom Green.
That's right. And, Coach, you get past Chattanooga, and you had a chance to talk with your team afterwards. What did you say to them?
Well, we just talked more about us because, you know, everybody, we wanted to make sure that we did not play into anything talking about a game that had to yet be played. But they've known this bracket all along. But it was really more about what we've got to continue to do. We can't have lulls in the first half like we've had, but they did a great job in the second half. And it's so much about just playing with the mindset and the effectiveness of what we can do execution-wise that makes us good, and we can't get away from that.
So as you're out here, how much time will you spend watching this game, and what are you taking in right now?
Well, I'm just trying to get a feel for the length and the bodies up close, what it's like when there's any type of contact, you know, what they're like with the ball when contact comes that you wouldn't necessarily see from the film. But then it'll be more getting back to the film when we get back to the hotel.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. And Jim, just a heads up, he actually watched some film late last night only on Kentucky, Jim.
Well, there you go. Well, Kentucky's lead now has swelled to 15 as they continue to play incredible defense.
You can feel it, can't you?
Well, Warney unable to squeeze through a double team. And it goes back to the Wildcats. You saw a brief cutaway of Yogi Ferrell and teammates watching this game too. As Ulis takes the jumper. And Warney clears it for the Wolves.
Clears it indeed. Knocked out Labissiere out of the frame there on that rebound.
Can't figure it out at this end. Purifoy gets his first shot of the game to drop.
Beautiful. That's his shot too, that little floater.
Ball tapped out to Woodhouse as Briscoe couldn't convert.
I think they got to move the ball side to side a little bit. They get the defense moving. It's just impressive. The Heat, they've turned a nice little Euro.
Block from behind. And Kentucky has yet another block. It's 7th of the game.
But as we said during the timeout, Coach, you can't simulate this type of pressure, this type of intensity, type of length on the defensive end in practice for Stony Brook. Kentucky just not what they're accustomed to seeing in league play.
Look at the strength, the physicality of the drive by this kid, Murray.
And Warney unable to get the rebound, gave Murray a second close range look. And he missed it again. It's going the other way.
It could be Poythress, although Murray was in the area as well.
We talked about that defense as Purifoy. He thinks he gets to the basket. But Briscoe makes a fantastic defensive play, not quitting, but giving the multiple effort, which is Kentucky Wildcat basketball.
First foul on Poythress. As Hawkins returns to action. 2:20 to go in the first half.
Boy, a clinic for the white shirts at this end of the court. Just amazing. Suffocating.
It'd be nice for the Seawolves to try to get this lead under 10 going into halftime. Get some confidence going into the second half.
Look at all the help. Holy snip, Willis right there, blown away from the double. Pretty, heads up.
Yeah, it was a tough shot, but it goes for Warney. They got 2 on him every time he gets the ball.
It's respect right there, Kentucky, their defense, knowing this kid can play.
They love to run this post up, and they reverse the basketball. The second time he usually takes over.
Willis hands it back off to Murray. Fadeaway baseliner. Tapped out and around. 8th rebound for Warney to go with 4 points.
All right. As bad as they have played offensively. Let me retract that for a moment.
Yeah. Ulis.
I think he walked on that play.
He did. He got away with it.
But on that last offensive play for Stony Brook, Warney's got to see the double team and make the extra pass. Don't try to, make the home run play or split the double team. Take what the defense gives you.
Exactly.
Walker called for his second personal. And it's Ulis to shoot 2. 4 points, 3 assists for Ulis. Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll get you caught up again on all the latest tournament news, the highlights and updates. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
The big adjustment I think this half is what Steve Pikiell does in terms of getting the ball to Warney. Resets or cross screens, and just try and get him involved a little bit. Let him drag dribble, see if somebody can, on a reverse dribble drive.
I also like duck ends and high-low action. You can't double when you catch the ball in the middle of the paint there. Yeah.
Great point.
Kentucky 10 for 10 at the free throw line. Leads it by 13. Purifoy ducks down on Hawkins. Tries to bounce it into McGrew, and it's picked off. Up ahead, Murray. Got 2-on-1. Which way will this go? Whoa. The officials on the ground, too.
Let's hope he's okay. Pat Twisto just slipped as he came out to make the call, and they got a charge.
Yeah, Mitchell was able to draw it.
But look at the recovery there by Hawkins. Not giving up on the play. You got to help the helper. And, of course, getting out in transition. I thought Murray maybe should have given that up early.
Yeah, he should have. I thought he was going to go for the lob.
That's only the second Kentucky turnover in the last 15 minutes.
In trouble with that one. Did a string on it.
Mitchell drew the charge at one end, throws it up wildly. Warney is there. Tip, no. Another try, gets it this time.
How about that stick-to-itiveness? Showing a little life, though, competing and finishing a little bit.
And timeout called by Kentucky with 30 seconds to go in the first half. Kentucky possession, up 11. Could Stony Brook get back into this game?
Absolutely. I think the big adjustment is how they get the ball inside. He mentioned some of the things they can do. Right at the end of the half here, this is a big stop for them. Confidence builder. They'll get a chance at the other end, maybe ring the bell. But to do some things at halftime, cross screens. You mentioned the high-low when he ducks in. I thought he's competed very well considering the big obstacles.
Hey, Stony Brook right now shooting 7 for 36. They get a stop, like you said, Bill, and execute and score on the other end. Man, under 10 going into halftime with that kind of shooting performance, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
6-second differential.
You have to think Kentucky here is going to go to Murray on a play.
Cross screen and then a pop by him.
Here's Murray. One bounce and launch.
Oh, you got to get that.
Willis had it for a moment.
A foul. That's
and
a killer.
Basket counts. Briscoe.
That is a killer. That's the stuff you got to come up with, particularly when you play a team that has you struggling at the other end. This has got to fall on the floor and grab it. You see the little wrist tap.
Briscoe, one of the top rebounding guards in all of basketball, just hanging around the basket, likes to score in the paint.
And the McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, it's a boot. 5 rebounds a game.
They got a few of those over there on
yes, they do.
Kentucky's bench.
It's almost automatic, isn't it?
Cal won't tolerate it if you're not one. Right?
Hawkins back in, final 7 seconds. Yeah, that was a big swing point right there. Had Stony Brook been able to get the rebound, they had time to maybe set something up. Instead of three-point play, see if they can get a shot off here with 2 seconds.
I'd scored a goal.
Poythress.
I thought it was on the way down.
I love the defensive effort by Poythress, but Coach, I think you're right. That ball might have been, wow. I don't know.
Slow-mo, it's different, but I thought that was scored a goal.
How about that's 9 blocks by Kentucky.
That'll rattle your head.
.6, that's it.
Catch, shoot.
There it is. McGrew got it away. This game was tied at 10 midway through the first half, but then the Wildcats close it out the second half of the opening 20 at 23-9. Fewest points scored in any half this season by the Stony Brook Seawolves. It's their largest halftime deficit of the season. 33-19. Kentucky, the 9 blocks really telling a lot of the story, plus holding them to 7 out of 37 from the field. Hoping to meet up with the Hoosiers on Saturday. They're halfway home with that performance. And we'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Buick. LG. And by Harley-Davidson.
Let's take a look at our Buick first half stats. Are these the same baskets and rims that we saw Indiana just a short while ago shoot 65% in this arena? Haven't made a 3 the side in this game, but Kentucky got the 14-point lead. Let's get to our Raft Allen round ball.
Just really solid understanding of position, weak side help, starting runouts. And what do you have to say, big fella?
How about Hill's heroics?
I like the change, Wolf. Warney is giving it his all on the defensive end, getting rebounds, extra hustle, doing the dirty work, but unfortunately just can't put the ball in the basket on the offensive end.
Well, Warney is 3 out of 10. That's the best of anyone on the Seawolves. He does have 10 rebounds.
Right.
And how in the world do they get back into this game?
You can't take away the length of Kentucky. Like, you'd love to foul him out, but I think the biggest thing is moving him around a little bit more. Sometimes getting involved in screens is helpful. You know, the high-low you had mentioned. There's a number of things. I think he's locked in and really stuck in that one box area.
In addition to that, you have to value the basketball. 8 turnovers here in the first half for Stony Brook, leading to 10 baskets for Kentucky. And someone else needs to step up. Purifoy, the senior, a leader, a shooter. Didn't play with confidence there in the first half. Let's see if he can turn it around here in the second.
I know one thing. Indiana did not look like a 5-seed team earlier, and Kentucky does not look like a 4 for that matter. And they both weren't happy about it.
Exactly, and rightfully so after you watch both of them. Terrific performance by Indiana. This Kentucky team, the defense is, you know, it's suffocating. And you mentioned the length. They help one another. Boy, Cal has got them playing their best at the right time of year.
And, Coach, when you talk about their defense, last year, a great team defensively when they won in 2012, a tremendous defensive. This is Kentucky basketball. The offense comes and goes, but the defense is their staple. A tremendous job in the first half, and I know Cal wants a little bit of improvement on the offensive end here in the second.
Yeah, with this big lead, even with Murray, Jamal Murray making only 1 out of 9 shots. Tracy, let's get a report from you.
Well, thanks, Jim. I had a chance to speak with both John Calipari and Steve Peichel, and what they said to me first was Calipari said he has to get Jamal Murray going. 1 for 9 is just not going to cut it. He's not making his shots. And as for Stony Brook, they know they need to get the ball to Jameel Warney. They said they have to change their offense a little bit. They got to get guys moving, but they need to make sure to get him more involved and get him more touches, Jim.
59 career double-doubles for Warney. 3-time Conference Player of the Year. That America East Conference used to be kind of the Northeast. It's kind of melded a lot of different names, but it's that old Northeast Conference. The only other 3-time Conference Players of the Year. Reggie Lewis back in the old Northeastern days. Yes. Wow. And Coppenrath from Vermont.
Taylor, who played for Tommy Brennan, who got his start at Seton Hall, overcame that and did well at Vermont as a coach.
I'll tell you what, Raph. Tracy talked about getting Murray going. He is not going to be shy. He will continue to be aggressive as Poythress with the easy finish inside.
No, I agree with you. He's a gamer, certainly. Just take good shots and get yourself going a little bit with some dribble drives if you're Murray.
And he's taking his own shots that he normally makes, just hasn't been able to knock them down.
You know, Cal really gets after them. It's amazing. Scal, Labissiere, and Scal, Calipari when he gets upset.
Yeah, that's good. Exactly. Poythress in double figures now with 10. And here's a 3-point shot. We still haven't had one in the game on either side. And another chance, though. There it is.
Oh, 2 for $1 right there.
Absolutely. I ran that down and got an easy one.
Woodhouse, a junior from Green Lawn, New York. Jumper. Labissiere. He's hit 3 jumpers in this game.
He is an efficient player.
It's McGrew.
And not too many second opportunities other than that last one.
Ulis.
Look at that space dribble.
And that quickness frees him up so many times. And it goes back to the Seawolves.
And, Coach, right now, the last 3 possessions as Roadhouse knocks it down from 3, and you talk about the nice mid-range jump shot from Labissiere. But Stony Brook, they talked at halftime in Tracy's report about going inside the Warney. He's yet to touch the ball here these first 3-4 possessions.
They're trying to do it now. You know, their timing is off because of the great defense. Here we go. You got him.
Open. There you go.
The help comes. Terrific, and a chance for, almost rung the bell. A little frustrated, you can see. wearing big. I don't think he's seen this size all year long.
And
no question about it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Purdue, but not this tenacious type of defense inside.
And the thing that Kentucky's doing is that they're double teaming with size and length. Obviously, Labissiere is on him, but bringing Poythress to come. Not used to seeing that in league play. That last move, though, he made a quick move and got into the interior and got to the free throw line.
Pulled down by Murray. Taking it straight to the hole.
That's where he's strong, isn't he? I mean, he and Briscoe, you look at the chests on these guys, they're built like your dad was in his running back days, you know? They'll just attack the rim square.
The third foul on Walker.
He's had quite a season, this young man. Murray just putting his team on his back. And as you said, Coach, in transition, just putting his head down and getting to the rim.
He tell you what, he does
Seeking
it
the contact.
He loves it.
Oh, man.
You know, he and Cal have an interesting relationship. Tease one another. He gives Cal some comic relief, too, you know. You get a little more respect when you're a good player like that, don't you?
You score 20 points a game, you know, the coach will laugh a little bit.
Yeah, he had a stretch there where he had 12 consecutive games with at least 20, which hadn't been done in Kentucky since 40 years ago. Kevin Greavy.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
The southpaw.
There you go. Walker, big step.
Nothing. You
Nothing
just
there.
can't throw him up like that.
Yeah, he's 0 for 6 now from the floor. The backcourt, he and Purifoy, 1 of 15 shooting. Poythress, meanwhile.
Nice hustle. This is where these two guys are tough. Briscoe and Murray, their ability to run it down and rebound.
I'm going to take it way back now to the 80s to another shooting guard who could rebound. Bruce Dalrymple, Georgia Tech.
Sure.
He lived on the offensive glass. Briscoe, somebody reminds me of that.
Look at his control, too. Doesn't charge. The left. A little kiss by number 23.
Second basket of the game.
A nice little dribble handoff, get him to the box. And look, everybody, the Poythress looking around. There's that high-low. Give it to him. Somebody's got to cut and dive and help him out.
And again, they collapse 2 on him, and Poythress comes over and creates havoc.
He's going to have to drag, dribble, and get it out of there.
Ulis splits him, and Kentucky's trying to pull away and put the knockout punch on the board here. 42-23. They come out in a blitz again. All right, Grant, Billy Rath, let's take a look at the Infinity Coaches Spotlight on Coach Cal, having reached the Elite 8 in 5 of his 6 previous seasons. His team that certainly was peaking at the right time, winning its conference tournament final over Texas A&M. 8 losses on the year, but as a 4 seed, looking very dangerous here tonight.
Yeah, they sure are, and they've just gotten better and better as the years progressed. Sort of tinkering early in the year with the lineup.
Warney way outside to Thrower. Up to Walker. Studevant too strong with the shot. Got a good look.
Watch him attack.
Here's Murray. Big step and makes another nifty move.
LeBron in his approach to the rim. Not LeBron, but boy, does he attack for a guard.
Thanks for the clarification.
Put back by Warney. That ends a 7-point Wildcat run.
He can make that.
Willis.
Yep. You just gotta stay at home with the big guy.
And he embodies the term stretch 4.
When I first heard that, I thought it was a limo.
Thrower.
Tough shot.
Yeah, off balance. Contact inside. And it's called on Poythress.
And I'll tell you what, Murray looking like the king in transition, finishing in traffic, doing a good job. And we talked about the stretch 4. Willis knocking it down. from deep.
Get those puppies organized.
I think they are.
Dribble drive. Fine. Stick it.
We get you back to Jim Nance.
Yeah, the USC and Providence winner to face UNC in Raleigh on Saturday. Thank you, EJ. Here it's 47-25, and we've taken Wolfie out of the truck.
He doesn't like games that aren't close, so he's got a second job.
Mark Wolf, our esteemed producer, Bob Fishman directing.
That's a much better looking suit than he normally has on.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice. They finally dribbled away from the box.
Look at it defended. Defending the rim was Lee from Antioch, California, in the East Bay area. Willis looked up like he was going to launch it.
He's always ready, though.
Yep.
A threatening position.
Kentucky's hit its last 4 shots.
Murray just keeps busy without the basketball. Hunts shots.
He's got 3 to shoot. He's going to take it.
Why not?
Yeah, you said it. You called it. You said he's going to have a second half turnaround.
He's amazing. His will to win, well, second to none.
12 for the game now. 8 coming since the intermission.
Moving Warney a little bit away from the rim, give him some room to operate and then dive. Here he is again. The timing's late.
That's Lee reaching around, denying, taking it away.
Nice pass.
Lee at the other end. Warney was going for the block, but got a piece in the hand.
I don't know if you saw that. Murray was wide open. Ulis didn't give it to him. After the play ended, he's waving his arms like you missed me.
He is thirsty. Ooh. Flat out play.
It's a second on Warney. Who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? You can play the Capital One NCAA Tournament Run game on NCAA.com and in the March Madness Live app.
I'll tell you what, Coach, Marcus Lee is shooting 37% from the free throw line this year, but he stepped up and knocked down that last one. Looked pretty good.
Everything's going their way here. A little tip on the rim. Wow.
Not touched, so Lee knocks them both down. You're right, shooting 34%. 2 for 2 there. Squeezing through and finally making a basket from the field is Walker. His first in 7 attempts.
Willis really puts pressure on you, getting back, identifying your guy. A little hide and seek with the big guy.
And it's taken away. Oh, Walker was out of bounds. Nearly got there, though. Good hustle.
Just a terrific opportunity here with the bigs move, give some room. Not a bad idea either, right?
I'll tell you, it's been a struggle all game for Stony Brook. Probably the easiest finish.
They got to be reviewing
there by Walker.
Time, I think, on the clock.
It was, yeah. Was there a change of possession there when Walker was trying to tightrope down the sideline?
How about this kid, Jamal Murray, though?
I'm just going to ask you.
From Canada, nice little Canadian pipeline there, recruit last year, Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
Murray's come in, and he and Ulis, man, they've been sensational. One of the I think the top scoring duo in all of college basketball this season.
Now, you recognize guys who are pros. I mean, attitude, they got the charge here. Ulis, and getting back to Murray, does he have in your mind, you know, the desire, obviously the strength and tools are important, but just watching him on tape, this is a kid that personifies what excellence is about.
Without a doubt.
I got a warning to Cal. He would like to call.
I don't think he likes any calls.
I think he likes those dividend calls.
Ball back to Stony Brook after Ulis picked up his first. Walker takes the jumper over Willis. That's not a good look. Here is Murray. This is where he's so strong. Gave it up to Lee for the dunk.
He just pressures you with the bounce. wipes out, decimates the interior D. The big guy, Lee, getting him up and down.
Purifoy.
And we know he likes to score, but Murray out in transition, being a little playmaker.
He likes to win, I think, is the big deal.
There you go.
Has he got it? You didn't answer me. Has he got it?
Oh, he's got it. Yes, he does.
The first round continues tomorrow with the Infinity NCAA tip-off show on True TV at noon Eastern. 16 games tomorrow across TBS, CBS, TNT, and True TV. You decide the games you watch. You saw the early slate, including UNC Asheville taking on Villanova in Brooklyn. Purifoy. There's a good-looking shot.
I ran a little back screen to get Warney to the box.
Asheville had a little bumpy experience on the road to the Final Four today. Their bus was hit by a van at sideswipe. Thankfully, no one injured. Look at that shot by Murray.
And that right there, coach, is special.
Yep.
Didn't have it in his hands too long. Quick trigger. Got his, as you would say, his feet set, or what do you say? Puppies. Puppies. There you go.
Purifoy trying to bounce it down low, but Drew is back out with it. Yeah, and there's only Briscoe there. Look at that bounce pass to Ulis, and he is blocked.
Good for them. Purifoy recovering. That's just great effort. We've mentioned or chronicled their struggles on the offensive end, but it's not for lack of want. Just excellent suffocating defense by Kentucky.
And that suffocating defense as Ulis gets out and the hustle of
look at Purifoy going to the Kentucky band.
But it's amazing to me, this defense by Kentucky, as you see the block by Purifoy. Tyler Ulis was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and everyone else on his team could play defense.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
He's got an assist this time.
Well,
Ulis to Lee.
Just great recognition.
Nearly taken away.
Relentless. Everybody in the right spot looking to help. There you go.
There is Warney. He's got a double-double now, guys.
On the empty side. And they've been trying to do some things, just recognition and entry passes lacking.
11 and 11 for Warney. Kentucky shooting in this half 79%.
Look at this.
This guy has a lot of that.
Nobody.
A lot to do with it as Murray coming to life after the intermission. Now with 17.
He is a gamer. Nicely low. Fumble on the baseline. Good idea. Strength. Attack. The wreck.
Murray got the message at halftime from Coach Cal, didn't he?
He sure did. He listens clearly and finishes strong at the 10.
Choose your favorite player on the court or for your taste with Coca-Cola and the NCAA tournament. Stony Brook has an enrollment of over 24,000 students out there in Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. And there is Coach Peichel's children, his sons Kevin and John, and daughters Olivia and Brooke. But what a job he's done. He lost the first 10 games as a head coach. The first game he ever coached. Took over a downtrodden program. They had a total of 77 people in the stands by his count. Against Columbia, Purifoy off on the jumper.
And what a great job he's done with that program.
And now they fill it up, 4,000 strong, full for the games. Purifoy. From behind by Murray.
He never gives up. This kid is relentless. Makes a mistake, next, turns the page, gets after it.
Just a tremendous effort, not giving up, making a fantastic block. But to your point about Peichel, building a program, having the success they've had this year will only help in terms of recruiting and getting the respect on the national stage.
Well, you know, Grant, they had so many heartbreaks getting to their conference tournament final, only not able to close the deal to this year as Poythress scores a basket. They lost last year in the final to Albany on a last-second shot. No, 3 it was. Here's Woodhouse. He's fouled and the basket counts.
A little life late here.
And Woodhouse turning the corner, a nice little giant killer from the elbow. And and one.
They could use a little more of that just to loosen up this defense, take the pressure off the inside game.
So Kentucky able to really take care of business early in the second half, and for all intents close the door on Stony Brook as Murray this time misses. And they'll be looking at some more red jerseys. Will the Wildcats come Saturday here, and what's going to be a much anticipated matchup against Indiana, meeting for the first time since they met in the Sweet 16 back in 2012 down in Atlanta in the regional. Mitchell.
Much improved Indiana team too. Boy, they really impressed today. This kid just keeps going after you.
Murray.
It's unbelievable.
And Cal talked about getting him going, understanding not so much for this game, but for that next game. He has to be at his best. And I'm trying to figure out who's going to guard him on the Indiana Hoosiers.
Johnson. Physically matchup.
Maybe OG might get some time.
OG will too, because he can guard all, at least 4 positions.
When you see Murray get going like this in the second half, you wonder how he could have ever been 1 for 9 in an inning half like he was tonight. First 20 minutes, as Warney scoring. And that was Murray who made contact.
And you know, to answer you, I think Cal feels like once in a while he just drifts a little. It's hard to say that about a talent like this, but once in a while he'll make a play that'll shock Cal. He gets after him. But in terms of using people, he can abuse a lot of guys. He'll turn around in the lane.
And what's impressive for a guy who did start 1 for 9, Jim, he's 7 for 16 right now. Makes a couple more shots, he'll be at 50% from the field.
And you two gave up on him.
Yeah, right. Be sure to tell him that tomorrow when we meet with all the starters from the 4 teams. They're going to be on the court here Saturday.
We're such a together team. One will go sit. The first guy to talk to him will bury the other 2.
You know that. Here's Stony Brook. And look at a little school profile here.
Of course, as you know, that was one of my early defeats in my coaching career.
Did you say it was the first opponent you ever had as a head coach?
Yes, Stony Brook out in the island. Scouted the wrong team, basically.
That's why you're doing TV, huh?
Hey, Rolly Massimino coached there.
Yes, he did. He was an
Baptist.
assistant there. And Chuck Daly was able to pull him away.
Well, Chuck offered him $12,000 when he was making $20. And all Rolly did was bone every time he was out with Chuck. And they would sell out the Palestra in a Big 5 game, and Chuck would walk under the basket towards the bench. He'd say, "It was worth the $8,000, wasn't it, Rolly?" Not much of a smile on Rolly.
And Coach Massimino still coaching.
Unbelievable. Got to the NAIA tournament, and hopefully a future Hall of Famer. He was up this year.
You beat me to that one, okay?
He
You got
deserves that.
Coach Cal over here won the Hall of Fame last year, and I certainly hope that sometime soon Coach Mass will get his due with one of the epic wins in the history of the game, winning the 1985 National Championship, and what he did building that Villanova program. And his protege, Jay Wright, not doing too badly either, learning at the knee of Rolly.
I'll tell you, talk about that 85 team. Broke my heart, Coach. Dwayne McClain, Gary
you were a
McClain,
Georgetown guy.
Ed Pinckney. It's a tremendous all-time performance as Ulis knocks down a mid-range jump shot.
I'll tell you, Ulis must be some dancer. The way he controls those feet quickly. Pitter-pat. Bangs him down.
It's McGrew. And yet another block for Kentucky. Bringing a total of 12 swats in the game.
And that'll jar your head, too. Sturdivant, let's see if we can get a little jump hook going.
Sturdivant. Tapped out to Lee. And here's Ulis again, surveying the floor. Walking, set for the 3, wide of the mark.
And that play's so popular, that ball screen replace.
Purifoy. Walker takes it inside, risking perhaps another block, but he got the shot away. Fails to fall. 14 out of 62 in the field. And a lot of those shots Well, they've made 14, but they've had 13 shots blocked.
Oh, wow.
Almost as many blocks as makes. This story about the block party for Kentucky. That's a season high now with 13 by 6 different Wildcats in this game. So this has been from the start. Absolute Coach Cal clinic about defense.
Solid. I don't know what you do against them because Texas A&M, the 2-3 zone, they got into the gaps. Loose balls they come up with. Just an extraordinary effort team.
Without a doubt, in Kentucky, as Poythress draws a foul down on the low post. But what's so impressive is that they have been able to do this and sustain it and not really look at the score and be up 30. It's just continuing to have that Cal standard of playing and executing on the defensive end.
It seems like they could look at a alley-oop play out of the timeout.
Right
screen.
to Briscoe. And Murray. Nice little communication.
This Murray kid, he can play. He can flat out play, Coach.
Solid.
Purifoy bouncing it inside, and Warney never got the clean handle. Here's Briscoe now. Here's a lob, and it's too steep for Poythress.
But look who's hustling back.
Yes, Murray defending.
He's amazing.
And Warney on the follow-up.
Baby, keep going, kid. That's the kind of attitude you want. These teams got a lot of spunk and heart.
Warney was 16 points, 13 rebounds, and now 7 out of 15 from the field.
Jim, you know we're going to have some game because Kentucky and Indiana are playing at their best right now. It should be a heck of a basketball game as Briscoe once again decimates the interior.
And I can't wait to see the point guard matchup. Tyler Ulis versus Yogi Ferrell. Wow. Sensational. In the second round, those quality point guards playing matched up against each other.
We were all together in Indianapolis on Sunday when the brackets came out, and it just jumped off the page. The chance and the likelihood that you're going to see this matchup. You know, they don't schedule each other anymore. Kind of in a disagreement about where they should play. Should it be a home and home? Should they play at a neutral site? It's a shame it's gone away. Well, hopefully it'll come back one of these days, but it's going to happen now in the NCAA tournament. Hey, we've been doing this for a few years, right? I mean, 30 years ago, right?
We started
calling the tournament with you, Billy.
Right?
I don't know of a second-round game that has the marquee, the appeal. It would be hard to come up with anything better than a second-round game between Indiana and Kentucky.
Grant and I are convinced that you had some influence.
No.
Just let the public know the way you carry.
Not accuse me of that one. But I'm happy it fell this way.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
And what I love is the excellence, the level that they're both playing.
Well, here's the thing. If they weren't, to me, underseeded, both of them, I think you're looking at a very strong chance they both would have been in the Sweet 16. That's the one thing that's a shame. They both could have been good enough.
And nobody could have argued either.
Briscoe.
Now, if he can do that, that's what he's got to work on. He has an attack mode beyond most. But that jumper, just keep working at it, kid.
And, Coach, that jumper looked good on that play. I don't know if it's a mental thing with him, but
more so the free throws, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Woodhouse on the floor. He's got Warney.
And no double. He's uncomfortable.
And you saw how he glanced to see where the double team was coming from.
Warney again. Still fighting for it.
That's great. He's a heady kid. You're right, analyzing that double.
Scowl, Labissiere back in for Willis. You know, Warney has come so far. He was much heavier kid when he was coming out of high school. And he'll play some minutes for you, too. I mean, as this game goes on, he's not tiring out going against all this intensity of Kentucky.
Not at all. I love his quick bounce. He's so 260 as a turnover by Kentucky.
Thrower.
A great hustle by him to come down. But, you know, when you took up Warney, how about his mom wanting him to make sure he got a really good education? Chose Roselle Catholic. At first, he didn't like it, Jim, telling us, you know, all of his buddies were going elsewhere. And it's turned out pretty good for him.
Well, he ended up being the all-time leading scorer. Before that was broken by Briscoe, now with Kentucky, as we mentioned. Tonight on an all-new Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Don't miss Shameless star William H. Macy and The Big Bang Theory's Melissa Rauch. That's all coming up tonight. Melissa Rauch on Stephen's show.
You look at Steve Peichel over there getting this team at the top of their game. You just can't get any of the offense going all night long. He's got a little double. How about this?
Labissiere throws it down with the left hand.
That is big time.
Showing everything here.
He's playing with a lot of confidence.
His basket gives him 10 points.
Tell you what, Cal up over 30 and still has his studs in the game.
Yep, he's got 5 players in double figures. And that fails to drop this time for Warney, but it's going to stay with the Seawolves.
And Jim, you know, early in the year I was out of practice and Cal was really drilling and getting after Scal Labissiere. He knew what he had in him, and he is exhibiting it in all facets tonight. And most often with the shot blocking. Nice, quick release.
Again, Warney just getting stronger as the game goes on.
He is relentless, though. He is a gamer. Good for you.
Yep, this tonight is 60th career double-double. Wow.
How about that?
20 points, 14 since halftime. It's like a 21 and 14.
So he has come to play. Struggled a little bit early with the length of Kentucky, but just kept at it. Nice touch there. Plays the angles well.
McGrew with the steal. Thrower, going to challenge Murray. And I thought it was a clean defensive play. Wow.
I did too. I thought that might have been Murray's third block.
He can't believe it. Was it you? Didn't you think that Warney, Zach Randolph reminded you a little bit of him? Was it you who said that?
Yeah, a little bit of a Zach Randolph.
Other than the other hand, obviously, but yeah. You mean the pudginess? Or
just the physicality, you know, being able to use his body, play angles, nice touch around the basket. This kid's a player. Had a tremendous career. Should hold his head proud.
Now, you miss a lot of kids when they finish, but what a career starter this kid has been for Stony Brook.
Thrower going out of the game, 6 for 6 at the line. Coming off the bench.
Oh, nice footwork in the post area.
Briscoe coming out with it. It's Walker. Matthews from behind. He forces the turnover. 76-50. Who knew our only nail biter of the day would be the UConn game, if you call it that. You know.
Line as we get you back to Jim Nance.
Wow, that one coming down to the wire there. Thank you, Ernie in Raleigh. And the USC Trojans taking on Providence and the winner to face North Carolina on Saturday. Here we've got the final 3:59 to go. It's been Kentucky really from the start. Game was tied at 10 about midway through the first half. Both teams couldn't buy a bucket early. Then Kentucky closed in dominant fashion the first half and never let up in the second.
You know, early in the year, we talked about the size, but the way Labissiere's come along, and Lee, all of a sudden, the Poythress, they got a pretty formidable front line as well. We know what the guards can do.
Labissiere.
How about that adjustment?
Yeah, boy, look at him shift around in midair.
I'll tell you what, he's looking great. So efficient. Nice jump shot, left hand finish around the basket. Defense, he's done it all tonight.
He's going to be a face-up guy. He doesn't have to be a low box guy, although he has that game.
Warning.
Good for you. This kid, magical when he gets a touch. Big, strong base.
Does a nice job of creating a shot, too, manufacturing a shot. players on him.
And the double really gave him some heat. Oh, a tough pass.
Coach Warney, the big guy. Inside Labissiere with the nice left-handed touch finish. Reaching deep into the bag of tricks for you, Coach.
He's got some, though. Love his progress. Couldn't get it to the wing. See, now they're going the other way. Warney all loaded up on the box.
How about another block? Warney, meanwhile, looking for another basket. Walker tiptoeing along the inline. And I got a whistle. They did.
They reset
shot
the clock
issue.
Yeah.
By the way, Wichita State about to close out Arizona. And we're going to have another year where a team comes out of the first 4 with some momentum and carries over to another win. Wichita State, one of the last teams onto the field. 14 blocks. Ties a Kentucky NCAA tournament school record from back in the comeback Cats of '98, the national champions. It won down in San Antonio over Utah in the final.
You don't even have hurries in there. Imagine what they've done to the psyche, even if they don't block it.
There's a 3. Purifoy, whose father, Carson Purifoy II, was a roommate at Bucknell, an outstanding point guard, and played at Bucknell, and a roommate of Jay Wright.
How about that, huh?
No, timeout called here with 2 minutes to go. Well, there you go, Jay Wright, and there is Trey Purifoy's father, back in the Bucknell days in the early '80s.
How about that? To reminisce a little bit. How about Jay? Looks like a intense competitor on that, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he was a stylish dresser back then, too.
Yeah, he had the sweater going for him, the big B for Bucknell.
His Wildcats will be in action tomorrow against North Carolina Asheville. Matthews, offensive rebound and put back.
He does a nice job that way. Cal's gotten a deeper team now. Guys getting minutes, playing with some confidence. Pretty good offensive rebounder.
How about another block?
Oh, don't give it. Good, I like that.
After all the games are over, Matt Weiner and Seth Davis, Wally Zerbiak, and Georgia State head coach Ron Hunter have all the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness presented by Buick. That's on True TV. That's after all the games tonight. So Warney exits the stage, and what a spectacular career he had. By the way, that's an NCAA tournament record, not just a Kentucky record. That's an all-time NCAA tournament record for blocks in a game with 15. A little history being made here tonight. Willis does it again with a 3.
He doesn't need any room.
I'll tell you, that kid needs to shoot more. He's passed up a couple 3-pointers a night.
Now, I was being facetious going to break a while ago about the nail-biter in the UConn-Colorado game. That was a 7-point Husky win after they came back from 9 down. But we haven't had anything else close the rest of the day. We had a 26-point win by Kansas over Austin Peay. 25 by Indiana over Chattanooga. This margin's 26. But it sets up for Saturday here. We're going to have some show ponies on the floor here. You're talking about pedigreed programs rich in championship history.
Absolutely.
UConn and Kansas, Indiana, Kentucky. As you say, whoop.
That's unbelievable.
I've been waiting a long time to do that.
Maybe a winner comes out of here. Think of that.
That would be amazing.
You know, got a long way to go, but boy, you have
Kansas, the overall #1 seed.
Indiana looking really good. Kentucky.
Those teams wouldn't surprise you either. They made a little 6-game run.
No, not at all. This shot blocking, though, sets up their defensive scheme. You can be really a gambler outside, but they're solid, too. They don't just turn you into the big guys.
Well, their defense is great, but they're going to have to guard the 3-point line and not get seduced into the penetration of Yogi Ferrell. It'll be interesting what Cal does, his game plan, to slow down that high-powered attack.
Again, that USC score is still 69-60. It's been sitting on that. That's over on TBS in the final 11 seconds. Again on TBS. Here is thrower. He launches top of the key. And goes back to Kentucky for the final 27 seconds.
Yeah, I think they'll just run it out here, Jim. Solid effort. And Steve Pikiell and his gang, congratulations. Terrific run. So close last year with that 3 by Ulis against Albany. And just keep it going there, kid.
Going to be an 85-57 final. Unless Matthews decides to put one up. Nope, that's it. Coach Cal and Kentucky have an appointment with Indiana on Saturday. Let's bring back the rivalry. And it looks like Providence just hit a shot with a second to go against USC to win it. Kentucky rolls on here. Providence did just win at the buzzer, I am told.
How about that? They cool these guys. Ben Bentel, they've got tall. Chris Dunn, one of the premier guards in the country as well.
Had to be some missed free throws in that last minute by USC. And Coach Cal and Kentucky. By the way, that's Kentucky's 22nd hundred all-time win. Wow. School history. 2200 for the Cats. And let's send it over to you, Tracy, with the victorious Wildcats.
Well, thanks a lot. And guys, first let me ask you, Jamal, 1 for 9 in that first half, but you came out with 19 points. What did this guy over here say to you in the locker room?
Well, he said, just play, just get it going, don't think too much. That's what I did, and I missed some bunnies in the first half, but I got him to go in the second.
Yeah, I think you cleaned that up a little bit. How about this performance and the way he came out after that break?
You talking the first half? Can we talk about the first half? Well, let me say this. His first NCAA tournament game, and he was a little shaky to start. He's a terrific player. He still does some crazy stuff. As long as it's not a lot, once or twice a half, I'm good. It used to be 7 times a half. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But he's starting to do the right things, and the first half he didn't play the way he's been playing. He's been efficient. He's been making the right plays, but we'll chalk it up to the first NCAA tournament game.
All right, well, let's talk about the second NCAA tournament game, and that's a matchup with Indiana. We know a tough one in just the second round. Now it's here. Your thoughts on that one going into it?
First of all, in my opinion, Tom Crean should be Coach of the Year nationally. He loses his best player, and they win their league like they did. They won on the road. They were unbeatable at home. Thank goodness we're not playing them in their building. They pass the ball, they shoot the ball. We know how hard the game is. We're just happy we're playing another game.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's going to be some game, isn't it, guys?
Sure.
Yes, indeed.
Both defense-minded in a way, gotten better, Indiana.
The tournament continues live now on TBS and True TV. Coverage on CBS begins tomorrow at noon Eastern. For Raph, Grant, Tracy, Jim Nance saying so long from Des Moines, Iowa. We'll send you to our studios after these messages, and we'll see you Saturday.